This episode of Rooster Teeth News is brought to you today by Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Get an extended free trial when you go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth.
I'm Ashley Jenkins, and we've got a ton of news to send you into the weekend. BioShock Infinite's second DLC, Burial at Sea Episode 1, will see us return to Rapture before the events of BioShock, when it's still a thriving city. The story begins with Elizabeth, and this is the same Elizabeth from Infinite showing up in Booker's office to ask for help locating a missing girl, one of many gone missing in the city apparently. The first hour of the installment will see Booker looking for clues to the girl's whereabouts and exploring the bustling city of Rapture. You'll pass through familiar landmarks like little wonders in Point Prometheus and see or hear references to others. You'll also get a glimpse at life in pre-fall Rapture and learn more about the functions splicers served before they decided that killing everyone was more fun. Houdini splicers, for example, served as waiters who could teleport to provide faster service. Talk about wasting a superpower. When combat begins, you'll find your Vigors are now back to plasmids and Salts are now back to Eve. A bunch of other familiar functions have been renamed to fit into Rapture as well, like the Skyhook now being called an air grabber, and you'll use that to navigate Nemo rails underwater. You'll have new weapons like the Tommy gun and a radar range, which is a focused laser gun that chains between targets, and a new plasmid called Old Man Winter, which, as you might guess, blasts ice and freezes water. Irrational says this is definitely a hybrid of BioShock and Infinite. It's still built on Infinite's existing systems, but they've done a lot to make it feel more like BioShock, including limiting your ammo and money resources. Episode 1 will be available before the holidays, and we can expect Episode 2, where you play as Elizabeth for the first time, next year. In a quick GTA Online update, Rockstar has released a GTA 5 title update for PS3, and it will also be available for Xbox 360 sometime today. The update is meant to fix commonly reported issues for GTA Online. They haven't shared specifics, but presumably it will fix the problems people have had getting through the tutorial, as well as known issues like jobs failing to begin, matchmaking timeouts, offline and online content getting mixed on the jobs list, and so on. Don't expect this update to fix every problem, but fingers crossed this will at least make it so everyone can play the game. Moving on to Valve, those guys have shared the specs for their Steam Machine prototype, and even if you're not in the beta, you can still build one yourself from off-the-shelf parts. They'll even share the CAD file for the enclosure once they finalize that design, but they're not ready to reveal it quite yet. The prototypes will have a mix of NVIDIA GPUs, some Titan, some GTX 780, GTX 760, or GTX 660, plus 3GB of DDR5 RAM for the GPU. They'll also ship with a mix of Intel CPUs, some i7-4770, some i5-4570, and some i3. All units will include 16GB of DDR3 1600 RAM, a 1TB/8GB hybrid solid-state hard drive, and a 450-watt 80-plus gold power supply. Whew! They've reiterated that this is not meant to replace your supercomputers, saying, "There are a lot of other Steam customers who already have perfectly great gaming hardware at home in the form of a powerful PC. The prototype we're talking about here is not meant to replace that." Their Steam Machine beta will begin later this year, and we'll keep you posted with more information in the meantime. Last thing before we head into the weekend, Maxis has confirmed that they're exploring the potential for an offline SimCity mode. The GM of Maxis Emeryville says, "I can't make any promises on when we'll have more information, but we know this is something that many of our players have been asking for. While the server connectivity issues are behind us, we would like to give our players the ability to play, even if they choose not to connect." He's also dropped a bit of bad news for SimCity fans hoping to see larger cities in a later update. Basically, don't hold your breath. After months of testing, he says, "I confirm that we will not be providing bigger city sizes. The system performance challenges we encountered would mean that the vast majority of our players wouldn't be able to load, much less play, with bigger cities." And that's the news for today. It's time for the weekend. Let us know if GTA's title updates solved your problems, how you feel about Burial at Sea's new details, Valve's Steam Machine specs, and SimCity's updates in the comments below. Then check out roosterteeth.com, where we'll be releasing more videos over the weekend to keep you entertained.